This week on Top 3 Tuesday, we are doing our part 2 of low back hip pain with forward bending. Hey everyone, it's Dr. Brandon and Dr. Andy with Twin Cities Movement, and this week on Top 3 Tuesday, we are going to be doing our part 2 of flexion-related injuries, or bending forward and pain in your low back hip. And this week specifically, we're going to be going over in how we do this in the office, but differentiating your low back from your hip, and then how to treat the hip a little bit when we go through. So like every week previously here we've talked about, we reset, we reinforce, and we reload tissues, or reload patterns, I guess, or we reset tissues and then reinforce and reload patterns. Always start with our assessment, and our assessment is our multisegmental flexion, or our forward bend toe touch. So again, feet are together, and all we want to do is bend forward, try to touch our toes, and again, we're looking for symmetry in the spine, a nice posterior weight shift, and any pain or discomfort as we go through. For some reason, that really hurt Dr. Andy that time.
Yeah.
And we're trying now to figure out exactly where the pain came from. So we have him lay on his back. First, we're going to long sit just without gravity, and we're going to try to toe touch, and that's still a little bit painful. Painful for Dr. Andy here. And just like last week, this time we try to differentiate again by doing a straight leg raise. So we try to raise that up, and this time, if you remember last week, this would not have been painful because the lumbar spine is still fairly neutral and not really moving, but this time, that probably hurts a little bit. Ouch. And so what we can deduce is that the moving parts probably are a little bit painful. And so again, we go through our normal progression here is we try to reset the tissue. So we're going to do a more local biomechanical exam. We're going to go in, probably again, do some chiropractic manipulation, a little bit of work on the hip, give it a little long axis distraction. We're going to do a little bit of active release technique, maybe a little bit of work with our tools again. Just try to calm all the tissue down around it. Maybe give it a little bit of tape. Hips are kind of hard to tape, but if we feel like it'll help to reinforce the pattern we're trying to get into, and then we're gonna reload those patterns with the ones that we want. And so how we are going to do that today is we're gonna start anyway with the assisted leg lower. So we always look at our developmental sequence again. This is the least demanding position for our bodies, is on our backs. And what we're doing is we're gonna hold one leg up, and we are going to slowly and in control use that hip to run this leg up and down. So if you remember, this was kind of painful for Dr. Andy when he wasn't supported like this with his one leg up, and we just run through 8 to 10 on one side, 8 to 10 on the other side. See if he can do it with a little bit of assistance, see if he can do it without the assistance, see where we're at pain-wise. Good. If you can get through these without much difficulty, we're going to flip him over onto his hands and knees. We're going to do what we like to call quadruped rocking, or sit back. But basically, we're going to get him into this nice suspended position in quadruped, and we're just going to rock back all the way to his heels. And all we're doing, if you notice, is getting into a nice deep hip flexion in a fairly safe posture. We're going to do that, same thing, 5 to 10 times. And again, if this is maybe a little bit too easy and we need to ramp it up, we go into tall kneeling, and we do kind of the same thing. We're going to sit back onto those heels, nice and slow and controlled all the way down, and nice and controlled all the way back up. Maintaining that canister we always like to talk about. Making sure we're really getting a good glute squeeze there at the top. Very good. All right, well, that is sort of our hip pain with flexion assessment, and all the way through kind of what we do in the office, at least the general overview of it. If you guys have any questions, we'd be happy to answer them. You can, reach out to us on our website, contact form. If you want to get more videos like this, we'd love to take your email on our website as well, put you on our newsletter where we send these videos out every week. You can also follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. Get all of the things we do and stay caught up with all the things we have going on in the office. If you know anyone that you feel like this would help, share it with them. We'd really appreciate that, and we hope to see you again next week. Thanks for watching.